Hello and welcome to Wonder Girl Tarot. This is your reading for the week of May 25th through the 31st, 2020. It's a general reading for anyone who feels called to watch the video and for my returning viewers and subscribers. I've shuffled the deck and drawn 3 cards. The first is going to represent Monday and Tuesday, the second Wednesday and Thursday, and the third Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I've also drawn an additional advice card from the Wildwood Tarot. And the tarot I'm using today is the Rider-Waite Centennial Edition. Each week before turning over the cards, I read a poem. And this week I was torn between 2 short ones, so I'm going to read them both. The first is by Derek Walcott, and it's called Love After Love. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread. Give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. A nice one about coming home, which is kind of perfect for the times. And then our second one is a Rumi poem from the Coleman Barks translation. And you may already know it because it's quite famous, I suppose. Today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. Don't open the door to the study and begin reading. Take down a musical instrument. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. So I think they're kind of related. But let's see what the cards have to say. So for Monday and Tuesday, we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. For Wednesday and Thursday, the 7 of Wands upright. And for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 7 of Cups. And under the deck, we have the 9 of Cups. Whoops, sorry, you can't even see that. All right. I'm trying a new angle. Hopefully this is going to be better, but I'm not used to it. So, the Knight of Cups. In the upright, the Knight of Cups has to do with some kind of offer, an emotional offer, because cups represent feelings and emotions. They're the element of water. And so this would be, usually the Knight of Cups would be a lover or a friend, somebody coming towards you with some kind of emotional offer or gift of some kind. In the reverse, this would be probably not receiving an offer of love, a lover not coming forward. It can be a delay, or it can be perhaps some kind of offer that isn't the love-filled one that you hoped for. Like if you, the Knight of Cups can be an apology. So if you were hoping for an apology, it could be kind of a bit half-assed or, not very sincere. It's not the from the heart regret that you had been longing to hear. You're not getting that, or perhaps you're not hearing anything at all, or you're not it's blocked in some way. This could be you yourself. Maybe you owe somebody an apology. Maybe you want to express your love to somebody, but you're holding back. It can be that. But what I'm really getting is that the reversals can be the opposite of the usual meaning of the card, but it can also be an inverted energy. And so because of the poem that I selected, I'm thinking it was a poem about returning to yourself and all of those, like, your longings to be loved by somebody else or to give your love to somebody else. I think you're going to be able to bring it back to yourself, to kind of reclaim it and let it flow inwards. I'm thinking that I think it was the philosopher Kierkegaard who talked about unrequited love as being like a gateway to God, or like the pathway to God, because you're thrown back on yourself. So when you love somebody and they don't love you, or this can even be circumstantial, like maybe you want to be with people you love, but you can't travel towards them, or they can't travel towards you because of the current practical circumstances. So you're thrown back on yourself, and you're in your, alone in your own company. And that can be when you actually discover the feeling of love for itself and in itself. So Monday and Tuesday, it could actually be that instead of feeling frustrated and disappointed, I'm thinking that all of this emotion that perhaps has been going in the past has gone outwards towards other people and towards other endeavors, maybe being able to flow back toward inwards and towards yourself. And that could just be an emotional feeling, like you feel more loving towards yourself, or you begin to notice the joy of being in your own company and to sort of relish it. Or it could take the form of maybe some kind of artistic pursuit, like the second poem, making music or writing poetry, or maybe you decide to get out your old paints or something like that, and just like that pleasure of being lost in your own company and lost in your own creative activity and creative endeavor. So for some reason, this card is not seeming negative to me or frustrated. It's seeming kind of sweet. So we'll take it. For Wednesday, the Seven of Wands, I'm noticing that you've got 2 sevens here. And sevens are often kind of challenges, like 5s are change and challenges. 7s are also a challenge. The Seven of Wands has to do with defending your corner, defending your ground. You can see this guy, he's at the top of a hill, and he's got all of these wands coming at him. So Wednesday and Thursday may see you experiencing some kind of criticism or people or things getting in your way, petty annoyances. I forget which astrological placement this represents, but I know it's Mars. It's Mars and I can't remember. It might be Mars and Pisces, but no, that's something else. Never mind. Anyways, it's a Martian kind of energy. You have a lot of vigor, a lot of conviction, but you're encountering obstacles. So, yeah, you may have some challenges, but it's for something you believe in. It's worthwhile, and you've got the higher ground. You're just you might feel like you're having to beat back a lot of things. And maybe this has something to do with, like if the Knight of Cups, you know, if this is discovering some kind of self-love, it could give you the courage to stand up for yourself. And if it's some kind of artistic pursuit, well, maybe you're prepared to take a risk for it, to risk criticism or disapproval and go and do something that you've always longed to do. And for the end of the week, we have the Seven of Cups. So this is a card about daydreaming and fantasy. It can be a card of confusion. It's not normally one of my favorites because I hate being confused myself, but it can also mean that you see a lot of options set out before you and you're just trying to pick which one is really going to bring you happiness, you know. There are a lot of options here that might shine and glitter, but they're actually not that great. So I think you're taking a beat to try and figure out what it is that you really desire, what's real. You know, we've got a lot of stuff, a lot of planets in retrograde, including Neptune, I think. That can have to do with illusions, fantasies, daydreams, and not being very grounded. So you may feel a little bit ungrounded Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, it can also be that your horizons are expanding, so that's not entirely bad, but if you're feeling confused or just like your head's in the clouds, you know, it's probably due to the stuff that's going on in the astrology, but you can try and ground yourself. You know, if you're daydreaming too much, try and come back home to your present reality, like in the sense of just taking a few breaths or sensing your body, something that's real, you know, that you can touch, because it can be easy to be swept away. It can also talk about fears and illusions. You know, if you're afraid of something, if you're getting freaked out like by the news or something like that, you know, try and check yourself, because it may not be real. You know, it's certainly not real to what's happening right here in the room that you're in, or if you're outdoors. So that's what I'm seeing. And and I forgot the under the deck energy of the Nine of Cups. This is the wish card traditionally. It's, you know, this guy's like really sitting pretty. It's getting everything that you want. And it's kind of, you know, the Ten of Cups, which is the next card, shows a happy family and a rainbow, and that's like the ultimate happiness. And this is like the stepping stone to that. So it's being really happy all by yourself. So, you know, you've got some good food, some good drinks, some comfortable clothes, maybe a awesome hat. And he's got his feet firmly on the ground. It's about emotional contentment and satisfaction. He also looks pretty self-satisfied. So, you know, maybe this is just feeling really content in yourself, which goes with the interpretation that I have for the Knight of Cups. And yeah, so let's see what this advice card is. I'm going to also read from the book that comes with this for further information, but we have the Guardian. So the Wildwood Tarot it's its own thing. It's not totally like traditional tarot, but this is the equivalent of the Devil card in the regular tarot. But in their way of looking at it, it represents like the shadow side that Jung talks about. So it's all the things that we've repressed And it's not really a negative card. It's about waking up to the parts of yourself that you've repressed and that you've come to fear that are actually strengths. And how when you face those things, you become empowered. And that really makes sense with this theme that we have going on of learning to love yourself more fully. And this is, I think they say that it's supposed to be a bear skeleton in a cave. So maybe you're in some kind of hibernation. You feel like you've already crossed over to the other side. I don't know. But I'm going to read from the book and try and remember the rest of what they say about this. So it says, a challenge has arrived in your life. So that may be the Mars in Pisces. Oh, or maybe it is in Pisces. Anyways, the situation may be very complex. It may even have profound implications for your life and how you deal with the world. It may manifest itself in the form of a profound inner realignment or the facing of some physical outer predicament, whether from the labyrinth that is the human mind or from some external source. The challenge that presents itself now must be seen for what it is, an opportunity. If something has been hidden or repressed, if a situation has been left to decay or become unhealthy, now is the time to take control of your fears and deal with the insecurity with courage and integrity. Always be aware that however threatening or difficult this situation is, you can only become stronger and more resilient from the experience of understanding and accepting inner darkness. So I'm thinking that this love that's going to be flowing down inside you may shed some light on some of the shadowy recesses of your soul that you've repressed. And the devil in the traditional tarot has to do with fears and limitations, as well as addictions and bad habits, and it can be like addictive thought patterns too, and things like it can be like addictions to substances or behaviors. It can also be like an addiction to love, to falling in love, or obsessive thoughts about a particular person, fears about money, all sorts of things. But I think that usually these bad habits and addictions and things, they come out of a kind of like running away from something that you're feeling, or from something that you don't want to see or accept, or that you don't feel strong enough to integrate. And so it makes sense to me that, and a lot of the people who talk about self-compassion talk about it as a cure for that sort of thing, for feeling for like addictions fall away, they say, when you become more compassionate and more loving to yourself and naturally to other people. So that may be a theme of the week. If you're interested in self-compassion, there's this lady, Kristin Neff, who's done tons of research on it. It's really interesting and she's super wonderful. And also I always love the work of Byron Katie. So yeah, that's it for this weekend, or for this week rather. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it is helpful in some way. If you did enjoy, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will be back with another video like this next Sunday. Please take very good care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.